crazy. But, so yeah, I moved everything over here, and then I'm looking over here for it, because yeah, that's how we roll. So, welcome to another tarot card. And we got the Emperor today, and this is from the Legacy of the Divine. I really love this deck quite a bit. And this is a really nice depiction of the Emperor. Pretty much hits all the really good bases for the symbology, for the most part. I think, yeah, that to technically be. So, the Emperor is Aries. He's also Mars. So, war god. War god. So the thing here, though, you don't want to get too caught up in the Aries-Mars aspect of it. Because while there is a really strong impulse of that kind of energy with the Emperor, he's also a lot of other things that's really super awesome and not warlike and destructive. Now, he can be that way. He's not always. And you want to strive for the good Emperor. So, let's get into it then. So, often things associated with the Emperor is father figures, structure, leadership, legacy, ambition, authority, structural creating, things like that. When he's doing good, he's building things up. He's creating a legacy. He's Roman roads that still exist today. That's kind of Emperor energy. It's like, yeah, I built this thing 2 millennia ago and it's still awesome. That is some major legacy Emperor energy. And that's what I really encourage people to pull in with this guy, is that energy. Like, yes, I am laying down legacy bases. I am creating long term, not just short little term things or having spats with people because you can. Because when he's not doing good, believe me, this card can go really wrong. Really wrong. So what, like, okay, 2020 Emperor year, really, really wrong. So 2020's energy was 4, which is, hello, the Emperor. And what we got in 2020 was not the legacy building, structure, leadership, good authority that's helping us get stuff done. Actually, here in the US, we got a lot of misinformation, really bad representation. So if you want to know the Emperor on a bad day, 2020, the whole freaking year, 2020. Just remember 2020, like, oh yeah, Emperor, bad 2020. Because destruction, no help, lack of leadership, lack of authority in many cases. And, in the beginning we didn't know what was going on. No one knew. It was very new. So, there is that aspect, but then it kept rolling over, especially in the US, into like a complete and utter junk show of nothing. So, the Emperor on a bad day is despotic, he's destructive, he tears it all down, over controlling, micromanaging, asshole comes to mind, puts people down. Henry VIII is a really good aspect of the destructive Emperor, and especially later on as he goes on and he has that leg injury, and after I think he got thrown from a horse in a jousting. I can't remember exactly. But he was injured, hit his head, so there's a chance he had brain damage. Because what would have happened if he would have stayed on the more normal trajectory? We don't know. Something happened, and he became very destructive, very insecure in his role, and he started really tearing things down. He tore down the Roman Catholic Church in England so he could divorce and remarry, and then he took down all the monasteries so he could get some money. And really, when it comes down to it, he didn't build a lot up. But Elizabeth, now there's a good emperor energy, even though she's female. We got to get out of this concept of that emperor's only male too. So Elizabeth I, major constructive emperor energy there. We need to go colonize and explore and arts and all this stuff. So, yeah, there you go, two family members, different ways of dealing with things. So his symbols tend to be, this guy doesn't really have a crown per se. Crown, like, king, emperor, crown. Ram's head, right big up there. Phalluses, eagles, fire, dais. So this covers almost all of those. There's not really a phallus, although you can, specter can always be a phallus if you want it to be. So we got a ram, lots of red going on here. He's a pretty good representation of the symbology that is usually used with the emperor. And you got the eagles up here. He's standing on a dais, red, ram's head. And two, if you see something like pine cones, are often thought of as phallic. So I believe the Thoth Crowley Harris deck uses some pine cones, and if I remember correctly, I'm not looking at it, so I could totally be off. He can be a really good card to work with. And being my life card, get a lot of work with this guy, that and the Fool. So yeah, it's like like if you have like your life card or your soul card, and some people only have one, I have two because I got big number. You can pay special attention to these cards and how they show up for you in your life. And if they're your year card, also, that can also be something to pay attention to. But it just came, since this is one of the cards I work intensively with and have explored probably a little bit more than some of the others at points in my life. So, really fiery. I just go for the legacy builder. That's the way you want to take this card. Because if you go for the creepy one, the not so good despotic emperor, it's not going to be a lot of fun. So keep that in mind. And remember, sometimes too, if you have old infrastructure that's going to collapse and you want to be a legacy building empire, sometimes you do take down the old structures and build new ones so you can have that legacy. Alrighty, everyone. There's the emperor for you, and you go and have a wonderful day and be the love in the world.